That is the program that I use to edit stuff. HitFilm is arguably one of the things that helped to get me into filmmaking in the first place. I've been using it for a really long time, and today I want to talk about the factors that have encouraged me to stick with the program that I sort of started with. And also what makes some of you people who responded when I asked the question a few weeks ago, why do you use HitFilm, why some of you use it as well. My short history with HitFilm begins in November of 2013 when I downloaded HitFilm 2 Express. It was $150, Express wasn't free yet, and I've been using HitFilm ever since. Now when HitFilm 3 Pro came out, I upgraded to the Pro version, but then when HitFilm 4 came out, I went back down to Express. So I've used a few different versions, but what do I love so much about the program and the community as a whole? Now, of course, a big draw for a lot of people is that HitFilm has a free version. That wasn't a draw for me. I paid for it initially, but it was less expensive than anything else I could find at only $150. And at that time, they also had a standard version, not Express, but standard for just $100. But now, here I am. Even though I started with the paid version, I'm back with the free version. Another great thing about HitFilm is that it is more user-friendly than Adobe. Adobe programs have a lot of jargon, a lot of things that you basically just have to look up to understand. HitFilm has a lot of effects to get beginners into filmmaking. There's a lot of stuff that you'll find in iMovie, but also some stuff that you'll find in After Effects that are both in HitFilm. iMovie is something that you start with, and then you upgrade to something else inevitably if you stick with the filmmaking game. After Effects, you start with a different program, because it's really expensive, and you eventually upgrade to it. HitFilm, you can use that for a very long duration of your filmmaking career. Because it tailors to a large group of people with different experience levels, having beginner and advanced effects in the same program, HitFilm can draw in beginner filmmakers and then keep them as users until they're professionals. The style of content that I make now and the level of quality that I make now has changed drastically from when I started, but I'm still able to use the exact same program. Now, one very unique thing that a lot of people like about HitFilm is that it integrates the editor and the compositor. Now, of course, Adobe has their dynamic link, where programs like Premiere, After Effects, and SpeedGrade that are often used together are linked together, but in HitFilm, they are literally one program. Now, all of those logistical features of what the program has to offer as a software program, the effects and the tools and everything, that's all great, but what really counts with HitFilm is the community, the stuff that never changes, even when the program upgrades. No matter what version of HitFilm you use, you still have the opportunity to be a part of the incredible HitFilm community. Hi. The HitFilm community is a fantastic educational resource for beginner filmmakers and HitFilm users, whether that's the forum or the tutorial YouTube channel run by HitFilm themselves. HitFilm has one of the most interactive forums I've ever seen, and one of the most reliable forums I've ever used. The HitFilm community and forum also provides a really great place for beginner filmmakers to showcase their work. With the new user gallery, or somewhat new user gallery, people can create a thread to showcase their work on the forum and receive feedback from other users, which is a great way to learn and improve. I don't know why I keep looking at that camera. I should be looking here, I'm looking there, I'm gonna look here now. Finally, by making Express a free version of their program, HitFilm has done a really big service to this community of beginning filmmakers. The reality is that film is a really expensive hobby compared to other art forms. Cameras are expensive, and lights are expensive, and audio gear is expensive. Everything is expensive. And then on top of all of that, you have to worry about being able to buy an expensive software program to to be able to edit anything at all. Final Cut Pro is expensive, Adobe is expensive, there's another one, I forget what it is, but it's also expensive. Now of course there are free options for beginners who can't afford the more expensive programs like Adobe and Final Cut, like iMovie, Windows Movie Maker, but the problem with those is that they're bad. HitFilm gives that community of people that's starting out an option that can get them pretty far into their filmmaking career. That option really wasn't there before, or I didn't notice it, if it was. Most of you will agree that HitFilm is absolutely, without a doubt, the best free video editing program that you can get right now. And what HitFilm has done by releasing Express is made it a lot more accessible to be a filmmaker. But what did you humans have to say about why you use HitFilm? Well, 2 of you sent in videos, we'll get to that in a minute, but a lot of you also commented on the video that I made a month or so ago, asking you the question, why do you use HitFilm? And these are the most common responses. But the most common responses that I got the most often were that it's free, it's easy to use and to learn, its effects and tools, has a nice library of effects and tools, and the fact that it integrates the editor and the compositor. Now, 2 of you, community members that I recognize, who've been here for a while, sent me videos. That would be Venom Films and TriFlix Films. So I'm going to end this video off with those videos. And I also want to acknowledge how amazing it is that I can put out a video asking a question like that and have multiple people take the time to send in a video response. Thank you, that's awesome.
Number 1, HitFilm has some amazing green screen and color grading effects that allow me to go from this to this. Number 2, if you end up getting HitFilm Pro, it'll come with this piece of software called Mocha, which allows some amazing planar tracking. In addition, if you get HitFilm Pro, you'll get particle simulations. And if you use these 2 together, you can get some pretty unique and amazing results. Now, I saved the best for last. That's number 3. D models, that is. Now, you guys know I have an engineering background, so I think it's pretty cool that I can use some of my engineering software, make some 3D models, and then throw them in the video editing software. To me, that's pretty cool.
One of the main reasons I like HitFilm 4 Express, and I think most people like HitFilm 4 Express, is because it is free. Now, one of the reasons I think it's good that it's free is that anyone, whatever their budget, can make a great film and tell a story, which I think is really important. The other reasons I like HitFilm 4 Express are because of some of the obvious reasons, like the insane amount of power the software has, all the built-in effects and presets which are really hard to do in stuff like After Effects. I also love the simplicity of it and how easy it is to learn.